I decided to dust off the FT1. I'm going to try and get some of the radios that look the same in the same spot. This one is always off frequency a little bit, and there's not a whole lot I can do about it because of the oscillators. But I'm pretty sure I can just adjust the clarifier. We would turn the clarifier off. There's not a lot on the band right now. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. And I'm just up late, so most of these guys I can't hear. They're all on the East Coast. See ya.
Next, I'll be right by, and I see you up.
There we go.
No, next, back to that.
Now, when the button is pushed on fine, this other digit you cannot see starts to change. They should have put it over here.
Well, let me try Jose there in New York. Kilo Julia 2 Alpha Mike. Good morning there, Jose. KC5K. 59 in the Tulsa, Oklahoma, Jose. Over.
That's about right where I need to be.
Very nice to hear you. Thank you for the 59 in Oklahoma. Kilo Charlie 5 Kilo Alpha 59 in New York City. Over.
Roger, the 59 in New York City. All right, thanks a lot, Mr. Jose. KC5K, one to call, backing up, 59 both ways.
So now we'll hit it with the clarifier. I don't know if somebody's tuning up or what it is.
Alright, let me see. Whiskey 1, Golf Uniform, Gary, you copy W4CXT?
See, I'd rather have that display correct and then just have that wrong. Because I think that as long as the clarifier is on TXRX, I think it will basically just follow wherever you decide to go. Oh, I guess not. My Kenwood does that.
Roger, I appreciate you being there, Gary. W1,
So,
W4CXT.
I guess it's off by, I don't know what that would be, 140 hertz. 0.14, yeah, 140 hertz.
W7MAC, you're up.
Wait, no, that 4 is channel 4. That's the one I'm on. And it automatically remembers that I have the clarifier on over there, and that I don't over here. So I'm going to be off frequency as I tune through the bands by that much all the time. And because these radios are so damn hard to adjust, there's not like a lot you can do about it. I'm constantly getting emails from the Yahoo groups or whatever. So it's kind of more like this tube hybrid radio here is more accurate than this solid state flagship radio. I mean, this thing has a really good receiver, but I don't know. I don't really see where it would be like, you know, worth it to operate it all the time, except for it's just kind of cool of a radio. In the time period that this thing came out, this is in 1984. I think the TS 930 was already out.
Okay, the other Florida is Whiskey 4, Charlie X-Ray Tango. KB8 OTM is checked out, Keeper. KB8 OTM is checked out.
And I don't know
Dan in
if
Florida
ICOM
has
actually
checked
had
out,
anything.
Keeper, QSL.
But they could have put another digit and they could have put a tuner in it. It doesn't have a VFO in the normal sense. You get 0 through 9 on A and B, and whatever you decide to put here, where you were last on here, is where you are. Now, we first turn the radio on. If there's no memory in it, it'll make a terrible sound. Let me see. And people think the radio's broken. Well, that's because there's nothing on the VFO. You have to turn it. And then, so let's say you want to jump through the band quickly. You push the megahertz button and go like this. And it's general coverage, so, and I've unlocked it, so it'll go anywhere. I could put it here. What won't remember is the mode. It doesn't change that. You got to do that manually. But
Zone, 8 hours, 31 minutes. Coordinated universal time.
see, we know it's off frequency. So I'm not pushing the find button, but if I did, you see how it changes a lot without the digit changing? But it's off, so it's off by 0.1. And if we bump it up, we should be able to go. Negative.
Coordinated universal time.
And there's no band stop edges, so it doesn't really matter. Here we go. It will tune continuously like this if you want to. You can also come over to the keypad and let's say we want 10 megahertz. I guess that didn't work. Okay, so we hit clear. 10. So now we're on 10 megahertz. Now to change this, let's say we wanted to go 10, 100, whatever the hell, 10047. Then we would just go 0, 7, 4, 0. And then we hit dial for whatever reason. And then there we are. I think this is an FT8 frequency. That's about all I can think of. Now if we wanted to go just flat 10, we just go 0, 0, 0. Dial. And now we get the 10 megahertz WWV. We can see we're off frequency. So it's just kind of what you got to deal with on this radio. Now we go and we run our switch up to here, and we would say 14 megahertz. Now we're on 20. And we just go look for a signal. About where we'd be. So I don't know if you can do anything else real spectacular with this radio. Like, it has cat control, stuff like that. We'll go over here to go 1, 8. Okay. No. Then let's see. We're looking at 15 meters. Zero, 7, 4. Didn't look like it did anything. Okay. So we're on 9. So basically, we've filled up that VFO. We have 9 things on it, and it shows us right here we're on number 9. So we just switch over here to B. And I have no idea why it does this, but everything that we already have will be on B. But it's not exactly the same. Okay, so yeah, so I don't know why it does that. And then you can go to do your split mode. Say, like, if we're this doesn't have an FM board, by the way, which sucks. This is the like super expensive radio, no FM board. It was all optional. We would go in here and we would put our frequency for transmit, and then we would put our receive, and then we could do VFO A or B. So RA TB, receive on A, transmit on B, or receive on B, transmit on A. And then there's this other thing here that says keyboard. I don't really know what that does because it doesn't seem like it changes anything. But it's a really, really weird radio. They have the shift and width over here, and it's off a little bit because the filters are so damn old. That's the problem with these radios. Everything ages in them really badly. I mean, this one is like probably one of the better ones because it mostly works. And it does have like this scan function, so I guess like if you turn the squelch up, which I'm not able to do for some reason, but if I could, it would start scanning. So you have a RF gain, and I don't know, maybe which one? Oh, the outside one. Yeah, okay, so we got outside one. Now we have an RF attenuator too. But I did see it scan once before. So a manual scan, I don't know. So you can see auto scan here, but and then you would, if you wanted to stop, you push that, I guess. You have an APF filter, and then you have a notch filter, and they're on the same knob. And then there's the monitor function, which maybe I've not figured out what's up with CW on this. Okay, so you have to have the monitor on to hear your side tone. Okay. There's a keyer, but I don't think this one has one. Maybe the Vox needs to be on. Yeah. But see, it doesn't key. Let's see. Yeah, no, nothing changed. There's a delay in the center. And my pedal doesn't work. So, that's cool. I'm starting to get a little more interested in CW, but anyway. The monitor has to be on for that. Okay. Now, let's go back over to something else. So I wonder. Okay. I got RF gain. I don't seem to be able to make the squelch work. I'm not really sure why. Oh yeah, it has a processor. And then AMGC is automatic mic gain control, and I actually have that on the 901. And I think it might be on the 101 ZD also. And so then, like, also, you've got your meter here. So you got current, voltage. I don't remember what the voltage is that this thing operates at. It actually says VCC, which is, I don't know, voltage controlled current. I don't know. Voltage constant. I'm not really 100% sure about that one, but anyway. It either has 12 volt or 24 volt finals in it. DSC, I don't know what that's for, like discriminator, that's for FM. Compression, so forward. So then you have your forward set. So like basically, you would need to put it in a mode like CW, and then you see what it is. We also have this ALC too. I need to put it somewhere where I'm tuned up for. Okay. See? Perfect. Okay, now I go to reflect. I've got no reflect. But, oh, where's my meter? See, I'm 100 watts on the amp. 100 watts. I have everything all screwy. Okay. So, this is just on because it'll read my peak on here. This will not read my peak. So basically, the radio goes from the coax down to the amplifier, and currently it's going to this one. I was running this one for a few days to run it. This one doesn't have 10 meters. But what I did do was I just basically took all the crap out of 15 meters, and I installed a 10 meter coil tap on the tank circuit for 15 instead, since I never use 15. And then I tried to make my own tuned input for the 15 for 10 and just make it really, really broad. But I wasn't able to figure it out completely, so it will cover 15 up to 10, but it doesn't put out a whole lot of power, maybe 200 or 300, 400 watts on 10 meters, so it's not what I would call usable. And then this amplifier here, the reason I have this is because it does 160 N10, and I really didn't want it, but I had basically put an ad on Craigslist, see if any hams wanted to trade anything, and so I ended up trading my ICOM 756 Pro 2, which was in really nice shape, and a ICOM 761, which I really liked. Big old radio, kind of like one of these, but with, you know, everything in it. And you know, I traded it for this amp. I don't really, a lot of times I don't really use an amp, but then this tuner here isn't actually being used. It's in bypass mode, and this is actually the one that's being used right now. And that my ladder line here coming off of here, it's 300 ohm, and it's just like going out the door. Okay, so when I want to operate inside the house, I just take the ladder line off of here, and I put it on the back of an MFJ tuner, kind of similar to this one, and it works. It works. It doesn't work as good as this, but it works. So anyway, I did all this stuff out here. I'm probably going to run radios all the way across the back of here because we're having a problem inside the storage area that we have with mice, and I don't want mice crapping and pissing on my radios, and I can't really leave them in the living room either because the kids will mess with them. So what I'm trying to do is like build up like a really cool looking station, but maybe I can like make some videos and like have like the radios as like a backdrop or something, you know. And it'd be like sitting here, you know, because I'm over here, and I'd have like be sitting here like this, you know. You guys would like see my radios, but I don't normally. I don't ever make videos with myself in it. I don't really. I'm not. I don't care. I don't need my face on TV. My job here is to make videos for YouTube and review lots of handheld radios so that you don't buy ones that you don't want. And so anyway, so I'm just trying to get the station kind of a little bit better. I need this is the only place where I have a 2-meter antenna going, and I really don't really care for this radio a whole lot. I have a Fusion radio too. It's dual band, but it's just a little mobile one, and it seems like it's got a little bit better of a receiver. But I kind of what I want to do is put the 746 Pro out here, and put my 756 Pro into the house, and have that for like, you know, rag 2 radio when I want to be in the house. Right now I'm having to run this diesel heater, and it smells funky. Like, I haven't figured it out yet, if it's like maybe there's a small leak in it. What it smells like to me is a car that has a slight amount of oil leak, and it's just kind of like sitting there collecting on the motor and heating up, you know. That's kind of what it smells like. Actually, the one thing that really had that kind of smell was my Harley. And you know, the Harley would seep a little bit of oil, you know, in places here and there, and it would definitely give off that smell. So, I'm wondering if the thing's leaking diesel. In fact, I know it was leaking, you know, a little bit on the lines, but I wonder if it's leaking it somewhere else where it's like getting cooked up. Anyway, so I had this radio out here, and I basically just screwing around with it. I haven't had it on in a long time. And I really prefer this 102. But anyway, the 710's cool though. If I want to hook it up, I got my monitor over there. I can't run the TV without getting the special monitor, I guess. And it's going to the computer anyway, so whatever the case may be. So if I can squeeze the 756 Pro in here, put maybe the new 101 over here, or maybe the 101 ZD. If I had a little more room, maybe even stack some radios. So I probably should stick a radio up here, like probably the 101 ZD, or possibly the 901. Now, the 901, if the speaker will fit in this with the radio, then I think that might be good. But other than that, I'm just kind of, I should be sleeping, but I'm just kind of trying to come up with ideas, and I just don't want radios to be like not used, and I don't want them in the storage room. And now that there's mice in there, it kind of made me go, oh crap. So we tried a bucket of water, and I got some of that Tomcat, those green bars that they eat. It's got the bromamine in it. It's the only thing I found that works. We bought this other stuff. It says, oh, this stuff's guaranteed to work, blah blah blah. it's baking soda and cornmeal. So what happens is they're supposed to eat it and take it and then bloat themselves to death. And then, so therefore they're not toxic to any animal that comes around and eats them. But it doesn't work. And we were sitting there, they were underneath our sink in the kitchen, and we were just feeding them like crazy last year. So, anyway, we're not going to have that problem this year. I hope that every year it gets cold and we have got mice like crazy. So, I've had them out here. They're kind of back in here in that area because that's where the wall kind of ends where I put the Artec. And, they come out through there, and I tried the peanut butter and steel wool tricks and, you know, everything. Basically found if it doesn't have bromamine in it, it doesn't really work. So, I'm going to get this radio, another radio up here. I really don't want to put another radio here, but it kind of looks kind of tacky because I have this, like, foil-based insulation back there and all these wires. So, well, maybe it'd be better to just have a radio hiding it. So, anyway, we'll see. We'll catch you guys later. I'm going to go to bed. 73.